Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today, I wanted to talk about One Piece. This is obviously not a chapter review. I don't talk about One Piece outside of chapter reviews and reactions very often. However, we got some pretty big news coming up. So, where do I begin? One, I really liked seeing like them talking about the boats and all that stuff for the One Piece Netflix show. I'm still very hesitant about it, but it kind of gives me some hope. I think the sets look cool and the concept art looks cool for him. So I'm willing to keep an open mind with that. And I forget what his name, Inaki or something like that. I think he has a certain amount of energy that I really like. And I think he's kind of perfect for Luffy. So I'll just leave it there. I haven't talked about that on this channel at all. And I don't really intend to. And at least not until it comes out in like 4 or 5 years. But the main point I wanted to talk about is the manga and where we stand with it. I'm sure there are a million other channels that are doing a million videos about this whole topic. However, I kind of wanted to just say this now while it was in the front of my mind. One Piece is going to be going on a month-long break, which is kind of in a weird way not crazy at this point, because Oda's been doing this thing where he's been doing like 2 or 3 chapters in a row and then skipping a week, and then sometimes he skips 2 weeks. So it's kind of one of those weird things where it's like, oh, he'll do a chapter, skip a week, do another chapter, and skip another week. So we're kind of in a weird zone right now due to the pandemic and how things have just been going, where it's like it's gonna be a weird 4 total weeks without One Piece chapters, but it's not gonna be that weird. The real kicker here is, and I'll post a link to Artur. I think he's the one who translated the message from Oda, and everything about that. I have it right here, and then I'll post a link to it. The core crux here is that like Wano is going to end in like 2 chapters. That's like the biggest news here, is that something is just gonna snap and we're gonna be done with it. And whether that means the Straw Hats leave Wano in by the end of 1053, either that or they're gonna leave right when Oda comes back with chapter 1054. However, the point is that things are rapidly speeding up, and when we come back in a month from 2 weeks from now or whatever, we'll be in the final saga. He has specifically said that we are going to go in the final saga. Now, a lot of people are using the word arc for this, and that's not remotely. Saga, to me at the very least, says multiple arcs. So Wano has lasted how many years have we been in Wano? Like 5 years at this point, if not more. I don't know. Don't hold me on that. We've been in Wano for a very long time, and Wano is only just one arc of the entire Yonko saga. And I saw some arguments about this on Twitter about what the Yonko saga actually is, and does it start with Zou when they're like, okay, we're gonna go to Whole Cake Island, or does it start earlier with like Punk Hazard? I'm of the opinion it starts with Punk Hazard. Law and Luffy make their deal to take out Kaido right then and there. So to me, it makes more sense that that's when it started. And if you're taking that into consideration, that's Punk Hazard, Dressrosa, Zou, Whole Cake Island, the Reverie, and all of Wano. That's 6 arcs in total that took, what, 10 years at this point? Has taken so unbelievably long to get through. Now, I'm not saying that the final saga is going to take that long. Oda has already said it's going to be about 5 years. And the question was, if 5 years from when he said that, or 5 years from when Wano ends. And even if you're taking the more generous route of 5 years after Wano ends, yeah, we could still get through some pretty decent arcs. A lot of people think Elbaf is next. Like, so obviously we might get some stuff with like the world government, and like we're not going to get another Reverie per se, but like that kind of arc where it's like, oh, here's like 5 or 6 chapters focusing on something else entirely that's not directly related to the Straw Hats. And so we'll probably get something like that. I would not be shocked if we got a Revolutionary Army arc of some sort, and whether that's directly involving the Straw Hats or with him meeting his dad, or if it's just off in the distance, and the Revolutionary Army going to save Sabo or whatever. So we could have a Revolutionary Army arc. We could have a just world building regular arc of just what's going on in the world. We could have obviously, a lot of people think that Elbaf is next. I think that's probably the next main arc that we get through or go to. Shanks is going to have to meet Luffy at some point. I think at this point, so the whole thing was Luffy, I think in his head, and maybe Shanks, were like, until Luffy's the king of the pirates, he's not going to give the hat back. But really, I think, what was the deal? Was it just like until he's a great pirate? At this point, Luffy has taken out, himself has taken out one Yonko and been involved with taking out another Yonko. He has a bounty of over $1 billion, 1.5 billion. He's going to go through the roof, whether that's... The question here is, where does his bounty end, like, after this? Because everybody in the Straw Hats are going to get a massive bounty boost because of this, and that would include Law's crew, I imagine, will get some bounty boosts, and Kid's crew will get some bounty boosts. But the Straw Hats are going to get the biggest one. Do we see Luffy get up anywhere near where Kaido's bounty was originally? And I think he had somewhere in the 4 billion. I'm so bad at like knowing knowing the nitty gritty on this stuff. But my point here is, I think that we have Luffy go see. I think that we have him meet up with Shanks and Elbaf. And not only that, okay, so here's the problem, right? Are Big Mom and Kaido dead? We don't know this. I assume that Kaido would die at the end of Wano in some way, whether his head gets cut off by Momo or somebody else, or he goes out in a blaze of glory up against the world government. But now he's sinking into the pit of an underground volcano, and he could survive that. I'll give him that. But Big Mom, I assumed would just like be carried away by her crew and sent off, and then we'd meet her up in Whole Cake Island with maybe like Shanks or something like that, because she's got a huge connection with giants. Did I say Whole Cake Island? I meant Elbaf. Yes, technically she would be going. It doesn't matter. Elbaf, because she has a connection with giants. Now I'm gonna be real with you people. I've said this on Twitter, but I don't remember if I've ever actually made a video about my thoughts on where things go, maybe after Elbaf, let's say. Like, once Luffy is like so close to getting to the One Piece, what occurs around then? And I think I had a very interesting idea in which Luffy and the crew eventually get to Laftel, and they're like, oh, we're here. We finally made it. Luffy's going to become the king of the pirates, blah, 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 blah. I think an interesting twist would be that the Blackbeard pirates got there first. Now, I'm not saying that Luffy and the Blackbeard, like the Straw Hats and the Blackbeard pirates would fight then and there, but I think it would be really, really interesting if Luffy was not the first person to get there. Now, we don't know what exactly is on Laftel, whether it's an actual treasure, or maybe one theory is that it's a bottle of sake, because it's like, oh, freedom, partying, that's basically what like Joy Boy and now Luffy as Joy Boy is all about. And his dream is to make sure that everybody, like, Luffy doesn't care about treasure. It's more about the adventure and the freedom, quote unquote freedom. And there's a whole thing about Binks' sake. So there is a theory that it's just like, oh, there's a bottle of sake there. But regardless of what it is, I think that Blackbeard and his crew will make it there first. Maybe they'll have a standoff with the Straw Hats, and maybe the fight will happens later down the line, and then they leave. And maybe Blackbeard sees everything that's around him and is like, maybe there is a treasure, and he takes all the treasure. Nami would be sad. But he takes it all and he's like, oh, I guess I found the One Piece, right? However, I think that there will be a deeper hidden secret below the treasure, like whatever's on the surface. And that like Luffy will pick up on that. Not Nami. Robin will pick up on it. I think that the Straw Hats will pick up on that and be like, oh, Blackbeard can have the actual like gold and berries and all that jazz. But they will find the actual One Piece. which it will be whatever, sake, or them just being, them knowing the truth of the Void Century, or whatever, right? Because let's be honest, by the end of the series, Luffy will be named King of the Pirates one way or another, whether that's Big News Morgan saying that, or everybody in general just acknowledging him as the new King of the Pirates. No matter what, he will be King of the Pirates. But I think it's really, really interesting to have maybe Blackbeard claim to be the King of the Pirates, because he got the Laughdale first, and he did it. He finally got there, but he didn't get the real treasure. Because, one, he's not Joy Boy, and two, he did not have Shirahoshi Poseidon. At the very least, he didn't have the information he needed to see within the secrets of whatever lies on the island. So what happens after that? I guess, well, so that's the thing, right? Do we have two wars at the same time? Because I genuinely think that maybe Blackbeard's... Okay, so here's the thought. When does the big battle happen, right? Because at this point, it could be two big battles. One with the world government itself, after the truth is out and they're struggling to maintain power over the world. And the other is with Blackbeard. And I guess the question is, do you have both of those giant wars happen at the same time, or one after the other? And do you break it up? Do you have Luffy... I mean, that's maybe, honestly, you don't have to necessarily see Blackbeard on the island. He could just claim that he's found Laughdale. So maybe you have him claim that he's found Laughdale. Luffy and the Straw Hats go up against the Blackbeard pirates, defeat them, and then go to Laughdale. And that's our quiet time before the big war with the world government. Or hell, does the world government go down before Luffy gets to Laughdale and Blackbeard's the final villain? Now, granted, I feel like Oda would maybe want to do Emu as the final villain. There's so much mystery shrouded around him, and there's a lot going on with that. So I feel like Luffy would want, I feel like Oda would maybe want to have him be the big bad, but I'm not sure about that. In any event, I suspect that we will go, so end of Wano, which is in 2 chapters apparently. Then we will have a kind of middle like arc sort of sorts to start off the new saga. Honestly, getting some perspective on where the world is at currently would be a really good way to start a new saga. It gives us a fresh idea of what exactly is going on, what's going on with the revolutionaries, what's going on with the new system now that they've gotten rid of the warlords, and eventually we got to go see Vegapunk too, right? So I feel like at some point, we're gonna have a kind of intermediate arc right at the beginning of the new saga. And then we'll go to Elbaf, and maybe that arc is happening before or during their trip to Elbaf. Also, how have I gone this far without even mentioning it? I did say this in the chapter review that I did for 1051. Yamato is going to join the crew. I'm super excited about that. The question is how does this occur? Obviously, Luffy needs to sign off on her joining. The question really is, does she join as Odin or does she join as Yamato? Now, I know a lot of people will not like this per se. If Luffy says, no, I don't want Odin to join my crew, I want Yamato. But honestly, I think that might be where Oda goes with it. I think that he will want Yamato to be herself and be... She is strong. She has her own accomplishments. And I know that a lot of people are going to... Listen, I am not the one to have this conversation in full. Certainly not by myself in a room, by myself, just talking to a camera. But I think a lot of people are harping too much on the idea that Yamato goes by, Kaido's son, or the fact that Yamato wants to be called Odin Kozuki. Yamato aspires to be Odin Kozuki because she admired what he was. If he was a woman... and that aspiration was still intact, she would just say that she's Kaido's daughter anyways. So I feel like I'm not gonna go in too far into. There's way more that I could say. There's way more of a conversation. I feel like you're taking away the wrong things from what Yamato is. The point is, I could definitely see Luffy waking up, Yamato asking, can I join your crew? I'm Oden Kozuki. And him saying, no, I want Yamato to join. And I think that would be way more interesting because then Yamato gets to be herself and she gets to experience her own journey rather than just pretending to be Oden. I won't harp on it any more than that. I'm excited to have Yamato part of the crew. If she doesn't join, I'm going to be pretty heartbroken. I'm not going to lie. But I am excited either way. Last thing I'd like to just mention, I'm excited for One Piece Film Red. I wonder how Oda is going to interconnect that with the actual story, because it feels like it's one of those things where it's like, it's not going to be canon in its own way, like it just straight up. I mean, it could be, but I doubt it. But I definitely could see it being the kind of thing where it's like Shiki. Think about Shiki. Shiki had his own movie, was at Strong World, and he was not canon until we started finding out about the Rocks Pirates. And then he was name dropped as part of that. And so I think it'll be kind of like that, where it's like, maybe Shanks does have an adoptive daughter and she will be name dropped or brought into the main story at some point. Or maybe the events surrounding what's going on in One Piece Film Red will matter in some capacity to the main story. I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't have much more to say about the what's going on in One Piece. I don't know. I think maybe we got what we were doing because they said it was going to happen on the 8th, but really that's like the 7th for most of the rest of the world. So I don't know. I'm excited though. I'm going to miss One Piece. Maybe I'll make some videos over the course of that month that we don't have anything. But for the time being, we have 2 more chapters left. I'm excited to see how I keep wanting to call him Luffy. Jeez. I'm excited to see how Oda wraps up Wano super duper fast. And I can't wait. It is such a good time to be a One Piece fan, whether you're just starting out or you've been reading for decades, I guess at this point. I'm really, really excited to see where he goes. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section about all of this goodness. Where do you think we go from here? What do you think the first arc of the new saga will be? What do you think? Do you think we're going to Elbaf, or do you think something else is going to get in the way and they're not going to go there? I feel like they have to, because like Usopp wants to go to Elbaf, and then there's the whole connection with Shanks. They gotta go. So let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments section. I'd love to have a conversation about this. And if you enjoyed anything I had to say, make sure to leave a like. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to see more videos like this, or reviews, or Pokemon related content, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell. I will see you guys hopefully very, very soon in another video. So long.